We're back! So excited.
We're back.
we are.
What has happened between now and December 4th?
Yeah, so since the last time we were together, we have a very successful vaccination programme, which is exciting, because I think that the last time we were all in a room together, we knew that kind of doom was around the corner. And now things are feeling a bit more optimistic, and it's so lovely to be back in a room. And I think people still feel a little bit tentative about, wow, I've not been around this many people in months. But we've been through the mill, actually, over the last few months. We knew things were looking bad in December last time we were here, the pandemic. And we had a sense that there might be some disruption to how we were working and what we were going to do. And there was a brief period, once the third lockdown in January was announced, there's a brief period when, for a few days, we had decided that this was going to be an online piece of theatre, that people would have to film vignettes, sections at home on their mobile phones and send footage over and direct over Zoom. And, you know, we could have made that work, we would have done that, but none of us really wanted to do it. We're like, you'll have seen so far, like all the work that we've been doing is so dependent on just bodies in space together and responding instinctively and impulsively to what's happening around you. So that would have been a completely different piece of work. So I'm actually thrilled that didn't happen. But what it did mean is that we had a 4-month break, basically. We met occasionally on Zoom to talk things through or to come up with ideas, but actually we were out of the process for a while. That's a good thing, because like normally in devising, like I would say each devised piece of theatre that I've made has been 18 months to 2 years in the making. And that's because you work intensively for a little while, and you go away and let it decompress, and the ideas come to you when you're on the treadmill or on the train or whatever. And so actually, you know, in some ways it's real luxury we had that break, we had that time to let the piece breathe. And in that time I have effectively taken all of, you know, we had probably 4 or 5 hours of theatre that we made, none of it polished, none of it complete, but we had 4 or 5 hours of theatre, and I've written a play using that. So we have a script now. It's not the script that will be the play that we have at the end, it's going to be refined over the next few weeks, but we have the play Sons of Dorian. So we're in a really nice place, actually. Like, in some ways it's worked out really nicely. I don't think any of us would have chosen it, but I'll take it. Sons of Dorian, part 1, the proof. Darius is delivering a passionate sermon. It's almost evangelical in negative.
What's your name?
Sarah.
Okay, well, we have witnesses.
I give in.
Everyone, say it with me. I give in.
I give in.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. Crew high, which is just a different thing to crew high. It's a brain thing. You can't control that thing, actually. Lots of singing is subconscious. You can't control that. So you've got to decide now. Don't relax. Hold it. Relax. Good.
If there's a level of magnetism in these pedestrian movements, you know, if you have this sort of like, oh, that's nice. You know, there's that sort of, there's a pulling in, and then there's the apex of it being pulled in, and then the force starts to go away, and then as soon as it's away, you're going somewhere else. Everybody's to catch you, and then bam, go out. One at a time, out of this. Nice. Yeah, so thinking that, like, once we have that, then we're going to be able to build the phalanx kind of structure or whatever that's going to be a tunnel.
Come on, Bobby.
Let's try this. Okay, should we try it? Okay. So, find yourself in position. I'm going to give you a nod. Being sure you notice that presence. If there's a presence behind you, you know you're being watched. Back of the thighs, hamstrings.
It's day 2.
Something feels good. Your lizard brain knows it.
We've got Anya in position so that Tess knows, and you all know at a specific point when the camera comes onto her, immediately you suspend your note and Tess is like, hello, here's my newspaper.
My exact voice.
Yeah, exactly. Delightful, so that seems more like it worked.
Those who find beautiful meaning in beautiful things.
Let's get you warmed up. Come on in. Raise.
It's exciting. It's weird. It does feel a bit... I kind of feel like at any minute someone's going to turn around and be like, ha ha ha, joke! Like, you're not going back into lockdown. But it's good, and like, I feel really lucky that we're actually getting to rehearse something because so many people, especially in this industry, like, there's no opportunities, there's nothing going on, so like, we're so lucky. And I've got so many friends who are like recent graduates who are wishing. I'm speaking to the camera, Constantinos! But so many friends who are like, oh, I just wish I could be in the room again, and we're so fortunate that we're getting to do that. And it's hard, like, we all have to wear masks and stuff and be careful, but we are all being tested regularly, which I think just for my peace of mind, like, that's really helped feel safer in the room. So good, but it's really good, it's really exciting, and how lucky we are. Like, I just can't believe that we're actually like putting on a show. Like, what?
How's it being back?
Exciting, tired, but lucky and grateful to be doing this.
Do you reckon you'd be able to do it, Emily?
Do what?
A bit of ballroom?
Yeah.
Cool. I think I want you to play Mum in this little sequence. The figures will come out into this space, and we'll probably have the camera step back a little bit. So there'll be a series of bodies. So let's say, Max, if you go there, and you would definitely be second row, and then down. Right, we'll just come this way. By which time Darius is at the head of the table, or on the table. And then he says, I call to order, So that's one sketch. That's not right. That's not right to me, but it's a start. What do you think? Do you like my ideas?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes. You're going that way, then I might rejoin. So
5, 6, 7, 8.
So obviously the 4-month gap, then how have you decided, yeah, that is, how did you go about actually structuring it into like this 45-minute piece, like writing it?
It's a good question. So I think when you, like any devising process, you always make 10 times as much as you're going to use, and then your decision is about what isn't the play. And of course, this could have been several different plays according to different things that we pulled together. And I think that the benefit of having all that time and doing other things and thinking about other things was that you can really just tune into what your gut tells you. Like, this is the play that I feel we don't have a choice but making, like, or there's this scene or this pivotal kind of exchange between people, and the rest of the play has to kind of radiate out around that. And I think that's what happened here. I think that the real thread that we'd found was that you know, the Sons of Dorian, the cult itself represents a society that expects a certain thing from its female members, and it's almost that no one's thought of challenging that or questioning it. And then someone comes along and for the first time and says, oh, hold on, I don't, you know, she says, I don't have to do what I'm told. I don't have to surrender my body or my entire life to you. And that's the upshot of this play, really. And it felt like everything that we chose from the material that we had and some new material that we put in had to serve that. And anything else was a different play. And you know, there's some beautiful things that didn't make it in, but hopefully these people will take it on to their next project and into something completely different and even more bonkers, probably.
Good morning, legend.
Good morning. How are we doing?
How are you?
I'm alright.
What's the date today, Chelsea?
It's the 22nd of April.
And basically this is for our kind of ritual with Dorian, and Cheese is just drumming this while they're doing Kruaha. I'm doing Kruaha as well.
And your character's called Cheese?
My character is called Cheese. He's
Did
a
you
sweet,
pick
lovely
that?
guy. No, Scott picked it for me, but I'm trying to find a story for him so it makes sense for the audience as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Believe
Let's
me.
hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can make, I don't want any hand holding because that's too affectionate. So it's wrists or ankles, if everyone's comfortable with that. Well, that's quite cool. We like that. 1, 2, 3. Expand. So when I clap.
Scott Gray,
Yes.
what have you been working on today?
So there's a big piece. It's kind of in the middle of the play called the Festival of Dorian, and I think it's one of the. There's 2 or 3 set pieces in this play that I think are the hardest things to do, where there's kind of like storytelling happening within. It's like a play within a play within a play, and so we invent a whole new theatrical language for each of those things. And we're in the very early stages of doing the Festival of Dorian, and it does have narrative purpose within the play. It's supposed to be where the character of Sarah gets seduced by the idea of this kind of instant pleasure society, but also obviously the organisation themselves are obsessed with the book, The Picture of Dorian Gray. So it serves a lot of purposes, and it's kind of the centre point of the whole play. We have a shape forming, but it will work eventually. But it's going to take a lot of hours of a lot of power to get through this.
So how did you go about thinking ideas up for that, what you were going to do?
How did I? Well, I think we in the devising process in November and December, we spent a lot of time on this, really organically using kind of Grotowski flow as a baseline. And they came up with some beautiful work, but like really long 60-minute versions of the Festival of Dorian, and you know, obviously lacking definition and clarity. So that was the first thing. And during one of those, Leroy played a song that he had written a long time ago, not necessarily for this project, called Powerless. And I suppose it formed from that. It started from this idea of Dorian Gray being a rock star, being like, we keep joking that he's Harry Styles to the members of this organisation. So this idea has grown out of that, really. I do know where it's going. I don't quite know how it's going to be completely defined yet, but we'll get there.
Cool.
This will be several minutes long, the Festival of Dorian. It is going to be that there's some kind of drug is taken, and I think I've decided that the drug of choice for the Sons of Dorian is an eye drop. Now, we're never going to actually have to drop anything into the eye, but we're going to use how we frame the angle to make it look like when we're taking things, it's an eye drop that's going in, just because it's gross. So that will start with that, and I think focusing on Marianne. So Marianne gets eye dropped, and then kind of goes through this portal into another hallucinogenic world. And then we will have a blackout at that point. So I think this might be a splice that we put in so that we can merge two clips together. Few fairy lights.
Yeah, okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually.
Every time I look into your eyes, I can't help but be hypnotized. 'Cause every time you walk into a room, all you got is my eyes on you.
Good, very good.
1, 2, 3.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, down in 1, 2, 3. And then feet down towards the ground. 2, 3, 4.
Without you. So what do I do?
Good, that's going to sound awesome. As with a lot of singing in this group, a lot of singing in general, needs a bit more speech in it. So not so much, you leave me powerless, you leave me powerless, and I'm without you.
Then she declines.
Declines!
To be initiated. She refuses.
Refuses!
To consummate her love for Dorian. She's just stood there with egg on his face.
Egg on my face, boss. It was awful.
But can you try comforting Cheese? So Cheese has got his head on your lap or something, or like he wants to cuddle because he just feels so bad. Yeah, good. Leroy's talking, all of you need to be like. And when you're talking to Constantinos, into his ear there, and then your head comes up.
Something she'll never forget. We throw the party to end all parties.
Oh.
What?
Let's introduce her to our friend Temptation.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you do it so that as little of your body is moving at all? So if you're wearing a gown, it looks like you're floating. We need to decide as an ensemble, has this happened before? I think it hasn't. I think this is a desperate measure that Darius and the committee are like, okay, what can we possibly do? Who would they listen to?
As Jim Morrison, Hunter S. Thompson. No philosophy, just a pure pursuit of pleasure.
Perfect. Chelsea?
Hello.
Delilah, she gained old Samson's mind. Yeah. Thank you for your patience. I'm sort of putting this together.
What are we working on, Chelsea?
So right now we're working on part 4, which is our uprising section. Basically the women are going to take over Darius, telling that he's a knob.
The finale.
Yes, the finale.
And then you're going to sing, which we'll learn in a minute actually, I suppose, a big chord, like a joy!
Second, you're just a discount Charles Manson.
Hold on, who are you?
Whenever you go into I Am, I know exactly who you are.
One.
It's amazing what you can train a person to do.
Good, then Lucy. Yeah, good. So, to be wanted, Chelsea says.
To be wanted.
Emily says, to have all this pleasure.
To have all this pleasure. What do you say, Darius?
Yeah, good. That's going to be so good. It has to be obviously the tightest thing in the history of the world. So if we agree that
every single lunch break, we do this for 5 minutes.
At the run on Tuesday afternoon, there'll be no scripts allowed, no phones or anything like that. But obviously, I hope you understand now that, like, yes, I do need you to learn the play, but actually, I need you to learn the events. I don't particularly need you to learn the script.
Who dares awaken Dorian Gray? Who dares to recall me to earth?
Then the frame freezes him, captures him there. Yeah? So then, the point is that is such a huge climax, and then suddenly we're just back in the real world, so you can just talk to camera now, just like you're presenting a thing.
Hello. Something rather special.
So from this point, then the camera really slowly starts to move back, and at the same time, all of you, with your own frame. The only exception I would like, so some of you will have to support other people, so you might have your own frame and be supporting one up there. Maybe Emily and Miguel share a frame, I don't know, that'd be nice.
Oh, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that'll look lovely. That'll look really good, I think. When you think about how much we've done, the level of detail we could add in the same amount of time next week alone is huge. And then to have another week on top of that, then start to build and construct and that kind of thing, it's, we're in a really good place. But let's work our asses off, but in the kind of healthy, not labour. You have to do some labour and learning words and going through harmonies and practicing movements and stuff, but mostly in the kind of deep dive, imaginative, sensorial work this weekend. Good. Have a nice weekend. See you next week.
Morning, Scott.
Morning, Sarah.
What are you working on today?
Today? So we're coming to the end of like the first draft of the play. Today will be the end of like drafting the play, and we know where it's going and what all the events and all the scenes of the play are. But there's still a couple of sections that we're going to do today that we haven't actually put on their feet. We just know about them. So one of them is where Sarah, the character of Sarah, is put in isolation and discovers the character of Kat, the artist. So we've got a big physical score we need to create that is Sarah being put in captivity and then discovering this artist. And that is accompanied by a song that Tess and the cast has written, which is a really beautiful song. But we've not put that all together yet. We know what it is. We've got the words, we've got the music, but we haven't put it all together. So we've got to do that. And then most of the day actually spent revisiting the Festival of Dorian that we looked at last week, because that should be the centrepiece of the play. It should be really huge and specific and organic, and we've just got an outline of it at the moment. So I want to really get some detail done today.
It's not as simple. It's not as easy as all.
Basically. So rugby tackle, basically. Good. And then in acting terms, Grace will be having a bit of a tantrum there. You might do some hitting of him. Now.
Here, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Grace will do most of the work. Good. She makes a hole for over there. So we need to change the perspective. There we go.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I mean, it gets cooler. Like, while this is happening, other members of the cast will place these stairs on the ground so that they're flat on. So what we need, maybe not pushing against it. So we're like, no, let go of me. No, holding onto the banister. No. Each of them, like here, holding on, trying to shove you up. And there's a little bit of tussling there. This does not need to be graceful. This is not dance. Yeah, got to stop that. Yes, that's so cool. Some of you are making big progress with that, and some of you not so much yet. But there's a variety of reasons for that. There's not criticism. Part of the process is doing the Zara. It's not Zara. It isn't Zara's group. They used to take the piss out of me because I constantly went on about sketching a horse. I talked about sketching a horse before. Yeah. So you don't do like that's the back. That's the main. Like you do lots and lots of lines until the horse appears. So some of you have much more complex parts of the horse to have to draw, or parts of the horse in motion. So that's all I'm saying really. Like there's no race in order to get there, but the thing now should be about the real life that's happening in this strange theatrical language, but also really the precision. Like, this is what I need right now. This is, you know, like, what is Tess's opinion of Emily's character?
Five, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, down. 1, 2, 3, 4, up. 1.
What are we up to today, Stuart?
So what we're up to today, so today is the turning point. We are putting the whole piece together for the first time today, and it's meant to be a complete mess. It'll be a shambles, and it's quite scary for the cast, I think, and it's quite scary for me as well. But it shouldn't be, because we know that you can't make anything worth making without going through this phase of it falling to pieces. So we're taking that leap today. So we've just done we just set one of the last pieces, so that we're pretty much able to say, this follows this, follows this, follows this, follows this. So we're going to do, the next thing we're going to do is like a marking run through, probably cutting in to cue. So this scene, right, then this scene, then this song or whatever. So that this afternoon when they do a run, I can hopefully not say a word and not sit on the script, not have to tell them what's coming next, or anything like that. So that's the plan today. It's an intimidating day, but it's a very important day.
Is when he's on a drunk. Oh mother, tell your children. Let's go on the word children. Is that okay, Sarah?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So let's have the introduction.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun. Rising sin and misery.
Come to me, Fran.
In the house of the rising sun. In the house of the rising sun.
Just mark this because Fran hasn't done it before, so you do something with Fran. Good, just mark it, don't do it properly. Then she goes down to the floor. Constantinos turns to us. And then we'll be a little bit closer to you so that you can... Good. So ingest your sin.
Ingest your sin, bathe in your sin before it's too.
Good. Then the camera spins round and we have Max coming in first. So what do I do? You can be round there for me, I think. And then... so I think we'll probably go from distance with the shot.
We have a constraint that we couldn't have a live audience, or we thought it was very unlikely we'd be able to have a live audience. So we decided that we were going to take advantage of that. Like, we could have done a play that was, you know, kind of end on a thrust stage, and we film it from one angle and then broadcast that. And we decided we'd take advantage of that and say, well, if we were really going to make this piece, I think it would make a really beautiful piece of promenade theatre, which is something where the audience follows the action round, or they might even go where they want to go. So we have the opportunity then to choreograph in that audience member, to have a camera that represents all audience members, who we've called, our movement director called Sam, single audience member. And that means we have control over the exact sequencing of what we focus on what we see followed by what. So that's a real opportunity that came from working like this. It's not something I would have instinctively chosen. It's not a way I've instinctively chosen to work in. But I really believe that you have to make your work in the world as it really is. Not well, if we could have an audience, this is the play we'd make, and let's put a camera in front of it. So we innovated, and I think that we're not finished yet. Who knows whether the finished product will be fantastic or a complete disaster. But the point is that we are experimenting with how we think about our relationship with an audience member, especially when there is only one, and especially when that audience member is as highly choreographed as every actor in the piece. I mean, you've probably watched it by now. Did it work? I don't know.
You have no right being this talented, Lucia. Get out.
Oh
Get
my
out.
Working on today, Scott Gray.
So this morning there's these micro plays within the play that we're calling the vignettes, which are like contexty bits, contexty things. Yeah, vinaigrettes is the name. And they're supposed to be the most highly theatricalised parts of the play, or like the language of them is the most kind of abstractly theatricalised. So we're building them today. We're making 8 bits. Each we have 4 actors here, and each of them has 2 bits of solo performance to build, which will be really fast. So that's what we're doing today. Who knows how it'll turn out?
And that's the whole day?
Just the morning, actually. This afternoon, tweaking, working on bits. Lots of the ending, actually, we're looking at.
Cool.
Details of the ending.
Done. I'm excited.
You sound filled. One's over here. Good, and then I found the remainder, baby. We found it's bones. Was it you? Was it you? No. Was it you? No. So who was it? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Eu não fui. A minha criança, como é que... Eu não podia fazer isso, como é que eu podia fazer isso? Não fui eu! Não fui eu! Eu não fui!
This is it, this is it, this is what will happen.
You can shake my head, clean as my hand. In whom Samson's mind, and when he saw this woman, you know he couldn't believe his kind. If I had my way, if I had my
This direction. So you don't start till I let you start.
It's amazing what you can train a person to do. Connecting, knowing ourselves. Pleasure is so fleeting that within moments you just have to keep running back for more. What do you say, Darius?
That's so beautiful. You sound like you're at an anti-war rally or something. You know what I mean? It feels like it's not. It feels like it's not just in a house anymore. It feels like we're now international. I think you can take a second afterwards. So you say in our story the moon will crash when and where we say it will, right? And then you say, so what do you say, Darius?
Yeah.
I think you should then take a step forward, just look again, and make it small again. So what do you say, Darius?
Okay.
Because I got my army.
In our story, the moon will crash when and where we say it will.
What do you say, Darius?
Oh my God, I'm terrified.
We wanted joy.
You wanted what? Go!
Dorian, I call upon you now! Release the moon from its orbit and bring it crashing down to the end! And it's Dorian, I accept! That's it!
Good, so just pause there. That's so beautiful. Do that. Like we were saying, for example, Emily's character, who is repeatedly pregnant, probably wears dresses because she wants room for a bump. So it's very much related to the life of your character. I'm not saying you have to justify anything at all. Some of you have characters who want to wear bold things and stand out. Some of you have characters that would want to blend into the background. And there is a general leaning towards a kind of late 1960s feel, but absolutely with breaks from that as well. Thinking for Fran and Max, maybe if we could get some school blazers, because they're just easy to put on, and then you're.
Already got a blazer.
Oh, perfect.
Got to today, Scott Gray.
So, we're theatricalising things basically. So we have the play, and there's a few sequences where the committee, like the people who run this organisation, have meetings, and we want to make sure they have a really, really clear, distinct theatrical language. So, you know, it's about comedy and it's about humour, but it's also about like precision and clarity of storytelling. So we've got that. There's some work. We're at that point now where we're doing the things that we have avoided doing. So like there's some transition-y, lifty sections that we've said the whole way through. We'll get to that. We'll fix that. And D-Day is here. We have to get to that and fix to it. So we're also doing that. And what we're really gearing up for is a run this afternoon, which I'm thinking in my head is the first proper run. We did a stagger through earlier in the week, and they did a run without me. This is the first time we're like, okay, does this work? We have a couple of graduates coming to see it. We have a couple of other lecturers coming to see it. So we'll see what impact this has on people who have no idea what's going on.
And the point of the run is to find out if there's anything, how it works.
Yeah, exactly. What you know, do we need to cut anything, change anything, add anything, completely start again? Who knows?
Awesome, thank you. Thanks, Lucia.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
I love that you are of dogs in this play.
I know.
This is like I was just saying to Matt, actually. This is about precision and elegance, these scenes, I think. And they need to feel like Midsummer Night's Dream that you did last year, but in a much more contained way. So, you know, it's probably mostly head acting. Like, it's, they're really, the looser and more naturalistic these scenes are, the less effective and funny they are.
Yes! 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 That was really cool.
Leroy could even go that way since Anya's not there.
Yeah, try that. Do yes, yes, yes again. Yes! 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 If the camera moves back and you go at the pace of Sarah, so towards camera, yeah? Okay.
Dorian Gray.
We can change that. I think it's time to go in.
And then.
Because this can be anywhere. Do you think it should follow the camera should follow the hand?
So why don't it work so nice anchored arms, like it's like you're pushing down really hard on us. After three? Alright, sorry, alright, Leroy. 1, 2, 3. Feel alright?
Yep. So graceful.
3, 2, 1. Okay, Fran?
Yep.
This will be
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, if you start to slide, we've got
Look at the stars.
Whoa. Alright, so we have options there. So I think there we're going down.
What did you think?
It was so good.
Did it make sense? What?
Featuring.
Yes. This is documenting Dorian, everyone.
So good.
You're the first audience members.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
This is a message for the cast and crew. Unreal. I am so impressed and genuinely like floored. Well, chef's kiss, you're all beautiful and I love you lots. And
What are we up to today, Scott?
So today, to be honest, this week is all much the same thing. So we've finished the play as far as I'm concerned. This week is about ownership and fullness of expression. So we're revisiting things, but really it's their baby, their project. And I and Ben are here to assist them and to kind of massage the play into place. We did a couple of runs last week and it's in good shape, but it's tentative, safe, a little bit boring at the moment. That's normal, that's part of the process. So this week is about re-injecting danger into it. So my hope is that by the end of this week, we'll have something that feels very alive and a little bit dangerous.
I also did find something online
I love these. These might feel quite cheesy.
What have you made?
I've made cakes, which is now currently engulfing cheese.
And what are they made out of?
They're just bed sheets. We've got a couple of them. So we've got 4 brown, or 5 brown and 1 red for Darius, because he is the master of colours.
Amazing.
Very exciting.
Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there was a beautiful princess who couldn't be touched. As a baby, her mother couldn't hold her to suit her companion. She built herself a dog. Beautiful and loyal. And most importantly, something she could touch.
Might have a little clicker, we'll figure out what that is, something. You get a little electric shock. And it gets, obviously that gets bigger and worse as the time goes on. And then when he's leaving, he's like, oh good, well done, you got it right. So he gives you little treats. Come on babe, this is a really fun one. Because it's got some lifts in. It's got some lifts in and someone's eyes get pulled out. And then we're in position, there's probably a camera there. And they're already in position here. So as we're talking, you form your position. And as soon as they give you the cue, well, it won't be a cue, it might be. So, just faffing about, checking there's people right behind you, Leroy, just in case you're thinking of running.
1, 2, 3.
Stand as you were, and then could I get one person on either side of me? So, taking their outside shoulder, and I'll take their inside shoulder. So we all walk at the same time, one person.
Oh,
How's rehearsals going so far?
Rehearsals are going good. Yeah, basically we're in today. We had yesterday off because bank holiday, so we missed a bit of time, but we were all doing imaginative work over the weekend. Hope these aren't distracting. But yeah, we're going good. We're going to do a run in about 5 minutes now. Trying to keep the speed up. We've got the vignettes in now. We've been working on them all morning and transitions all morning. So this is like the first look at the play pretty much all the way through. So it's going to be very exciting. We're not doing lifts, but other than that, everything's in. So very exciting.
How's it going? Rehearsals going on?
It's good. Now that we've got the vignettes sorted, I feel like the whole picture's sort of there. Just got to obviously make sure we make it all embodied. Yes. And sort of not actual dangerous, but you know, make it feel dangerous, like stakes high and stuff.
These things are sense. Who was it that fed you this unfortunate lie that your pleasure came with a price that had to be paid?
Just a bit of homework. Please find some joy this weekend. Have some actual joy somewhere.
Only pleasure.
No pleasure, Constantinos. No joy.
What are we up to today, Scotty?
So today, basically, the timer has run out. So the play has to be finished now. And I've had a feeling for a few days that this day, Thursday, the 6th of May, would be Breakthrough Day, and that's the time. Like it's a really difficult play because I was thinking on the train the other day, this is too complex. This could have been such a simple piece. We could have had so many fewer components of cogs turning at the same time, and given ourselves a much easier life. And so up until now, putting things together has like constantly put cogs. Put like a spanner in the works. It's constantly slowed things down or broken other things down. But I had a feeling that today would be the day that the breakthrough would happen, when they have figured out this is my track, my path through the play, and they don't have to be thinking constantly about what comes next and which direction am I facing next, and they know it well enough that it flows out of them. And we've just done a run, and it absolutely was the breakthrough run. Like it's not finished yet. There's definitely lots of tweaking, bits of detail we can put in, and things to take out that are distracting. But it's definitely the play as we intended it to be now for the first time. And I love this day. This is the normal process of making and rehearsing a play. The first week or the first period is like jubilations. Everyone's so excited. The second week is everyone's just like in the pits of despair because nothing works and everyone thinks they're untalented and they hate each other. And then you get to this point, the breakthrough, when everyone goes, oh my God, all this pain was worth it. We've built a thing. And this, specifically with this, but also with everything you ever do, it's a thing that no one else could have done. It's only this combination of people at this time in our lives that could have done this. And once it's done, it'll be gone forever. And that's the point we're at today. This is probably the most exciting part of the process.
And next week, what is the plan at next week?
Oh God, next week. So next week is production week, and we don't have much set. So in terms of getting the set all into the theatre space, should be pretty straightforward. The thing that's going to be really difficult next week is the technical rehearsal. So of course we know, or I know, how I want certain things lit and how I want the technical aspects of the play to work. What we don't know though is because we're working in a space in a different way to how that space is normally used, and because we have some constraints about where particular lights are focused, we actually don't know where all the play happens in that space. So the technical rehearsal is not just going to be deciding, well, I want those lights pointing in that direction. It's also going to be, and then we're going to pick this scene up and put that there, which is going to throw them off track. The technical rehearsal is going to be really difficult. It's going to be really complex. We're all going to have to be very, very patient with each other. But once that's done, I think actually the rest of the week should be quite pleasant because we are just going to keep filming until we've got it. We're just going to keep recording. Obviously that's a benefit of doing it this way. We don't have a 3 o'clock and a 7 o'clock show. We have, okay, let's do a run. Okay, you go away for an hour while I watch it. Here's what didn't work, let's try it again. You go away for an hour while I watch it. Here's what didn't work, let's try it again. We'll keep doing that until we've got it. And maybe we'll get it the first time. Or maybe we'll be working until the small hours on Friday morning. I don't know, we'll see. It'll be a hard week, but it'll be worth it.